if nobody's credit is good, should that include government? Government's credit should be good, not so?
Yes, sir.
So if you decide to give money, credit, to finance the activities of Ghanaian contractors, that money, it should come back. So where is that money? That money is with the government of Ghana and its agencies, and they know. They know. The former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, knows. The current finance minister, Dr. Amin Adam, he knows. The head of Cocoa Board, we financed cocoa roads. They used to be the safest activity you can engage in. We invested in schools. So many schools that you might see here and there, it is monies from our companies that pre-finance them. You go all over the place. You will find it. Roads, bridges, schools, and so many others. If you go to Discove, it's a sea defense project. It has been there. That project was started more than 7 years ago. That contractor has spent millions and millions working on that project. Not one peswa has been paid to that contractor. So what used to be about 1.8 billion Ghana cedis, listen to me again. A debt that used to be 1.8 billion Ghana cedis is now more than 7.1 billion Ghana cedis. I'm not talking old Ghana cedis or old cedis. That is real new Ghana cedis. If you convert it into US dollars, it's about $500 million, and it's growing every day with interest. So with the government of Ghana and its agencies, if they had paid us even 1/3 of that money to the contractors 6 years ago, there wouldn't be a Gold Coast or Black Shield problem. There wouldn't be a GM Bank problem. There wouldn't be a problem with any of our companies.
They should pay the money.
So today, what we are asking is we're saying, let them pay the money. If government doesn't have the money, there are arrangements that can be made. We all know what the situation in Ghana, what it is. So let's come up with a payment plan. They pay us, the customers get paid, the bank rises, and other things come. It's as simple as that.
Things have gone on. Yeah. But honestly, I'll be frank. My name says someone will court here. But I disagree. I disagree with Atu forcing the Yes. Now truth will kill me because someone will be a minister of finance. Nese ministry be Edina Yabano establish LC Manua. Now Casadia, any more ministers now Motiwana Muheli Said. Muheni.
And I will be a baby woman winning.
Well, but I'm telling you, Maridi Kakra, and I'm just saying, in principle, Sauka James said after forcing, causing financial loss to the state because he established an LC for a ministry. It is not his responsibility to check, say, Enyomanu Baya and Nasama. It is the responsibility of that particular ministry. I will establish an LC on his behalf to check.
And on to the BSS of any.
What you say? Media, Mrs. Who you sue and no as causing and causing financial loss to the state. I disagree. Okay. Me must state my position. And I'm so watching but
oh, there be maybe I have facts available.
I know the facts. I know. What you say? I disagree. Because yes, sir, ministers, you are not even empowering anybody to sign anything. Because they will take a clue from Atu forcing. It is a whole reform, sir.
No, but unfortunately, no, Atu forcing is in court. He has not been sentenced. So they are okay.
Yeah.
I think so. Obe give the case.
Right. Nti na me say o court to yan kan pi any. But me no but my state me position means things have gone on. Yeah. But honestly, I'll be frank. Me nim say some no court here. But I disagree. I disagree with Atu forcing the no. Yes. Now truth will kill me because someone will be a minister of finance. Nese ministry be edina yaba no establish LC manwa. Now kasa dia eni emu ministers na motiwa na mu heli sayid. Mu hwe ni.
Ana we bia bibi wo mu anwunim.
Well, but I'm telling you, my reading kakra, and I'm just saying, in principle, Sawuka James said, after forcing, causing financial loss to the state because he established an LC for a ministry. It is not his responsibility to check, say, it is the responsibility of that particular ministry. I will establish an LC on his behalf to check.
Anon to ne biase so hwani ye.
What you say? Media, Mrs. Who you sue and no as causing and causing financial loss to the state. I disagree. Okay. Me must state my position. And I'm so watching but
oh, there be
Menyama kachira way.
Maybe anya facts ni nyina na available.
Menyama kachira men kanchiro. I know the facts. I know. What you say? I disagree because anya sa ministers you are not even empowering anybody to sign anything because they will take a clue from Atu forcing. It is a real phone, sir.
No, sure.
No,
unfortunately, no. Atu forcing is in court. He has not been sentenced. So they are okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
And we have times without numbers explained why we think that Honorable Atu forcing is innocent and that this whole case is needless. Now the matter has been before the courts. Various witnesses have been called. The minority leader himself has opened his case and closed his case. Currently, the third accused is being cross-examined by lawyers for the minority leader who is the first accused. And today, cross-examination was done by our own director legal, Eduji Kamakle. So we're all in court to monitor the proceedings. But we were shocked to the marrow when the third accused, under cross-examination, disclosed to the courts that the Honorable Attorney General has been reaching out to him, calling him over the phone, that he has met with him in person, and that the Attorney General has been asking him to give false testimony to the courts and skew his testimony in such a way that corroborates the case of the Attorney General against the first accused, so that the first accused can be convicted and jailed. He said this in open court and asked that it should be put on record. And her leadership also directed that same should be captured by the record. And so what we are talking about is something which is on record. And we as a political party are totally scandalized and disgusted by this development. We are not surprised because we've always known that this is a stock in trade of Godfred Yeboadame. This is not a man who is interested in justice or the law. This is not a man who is an Attorney General and Minister of Justice. No. This is a devious character with no honor whatsoever, no respect for justice, no respect for the rule of law, no respect for the rights of accused persons, and who always go about manipulating judicial processes to get his way at all costs. And so we are not surprised at all that today his sins have found him out. We are not surprised at all that today his cup is full. We are not surprised at all that today his day of reckoning has come. Because, you know, in a race between good and evil, evil can always take the lead, but good will always win. He's been doing
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was done, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our work to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because
government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and we're live from the studios here in North Ridge. The 27th of May 2024, and it's time for us to go through the issues of the day. We'll start off with the daily graphic headlines of the newspapers. Daily graphic says that we will stabilize city, Finance Minister assures nation. Church of Pentecost calls for drastic measures to curb galamsey. GCB celebrates Asante Hene. Graphic National Development Dialogue Series, experts speak on quality health tomorrow. Ghanaian Times. Saturday downpour in Accra, Obechabi Lamte Circle submerged. Residents, shop owners, drivers want work to speed up. Establish Ghana Agriculture Service to transform sector, Professor Canton. Ghana marks 61st AU Day. Health providers, NIA hold talks on joint implementation of preventive and promotive health initiatives. Finance Ministry holds engagement with stakeholders. Daily Guide. Ghanaian lady missing in Nigeria. Ambulance case. Secret recordings, plea letters exposed. Breaking the 8 is possible. Baumia. Finance Ministry holds engagement with stakeholders. That's also here. New Crusading Guide. NDC's plot to use secret recording in Supreme Court judge's house to frustrate ambulance trial. Energy Ministry schools Kelvin Taylor says contracting in upstream sector not subject to government control. Medium-term economic outlook looks good, says Finance Minister. Claudia Kwarting Lumont pays 1-year fees for youngest male artist. Tanker drivers brouhaha. UPPF chief fingered for confusion. Mustafa Hamid asks to fire him to diffuse tension. The top right corner says, stop holding yourself as chief of Bibini, says chief. He also traditional rulers to Enyima Kodom. The Insight. Election 2024. Care Ghana blows alarm over EC's alleged appointment of voting software manipulator. Ghana city in deep crisis as it weakens into historic decline versus US dollar, according to Bloomberg report. BRICS and de-dollarization, opportunities and challenges. And then we have the police case. Linsot appeals to Supreme Court to reconsider decision to change original panel in the appeal hearing. The Herald. 12 GCB Bank board members grab $33,000 each for questionable overseas training. Ken Japan's brother condemns Agric minister's defense in Snit hotel sales to Rock City. Ovosompofu laces up for Mahama 2024 victory after medical trip abroad. Baumia aims for 300,000 votes in NDC stronghold Nanabi. Western region chiefs applaud GMPC for projects. For example, for headline is interesting. The Informer. Kidney Wahala, students' nurses' life education in danger. Asked to cough up $45,000 for transplant. Ambulance trial. Don't dare or I will expose you. Witness warns AG. That's Richard Jakba. We've nothing against NDC Electoral Commission to compel government to follow development plans back in national policy by law. ASET. And in this issue, sacrifices panacea to Africa evils. Commission chair. The Inquisitor. Supply assurance for downstream petroleum. Fields up, pops up, and Dame runs from Jakpa. That's also here. Energy Ministry parries Taylor's allegations against NAPO. NHI is getting bigger and better. 6.3 million children to be registered. NHIA boss makes revelation. The Daily Statesman. NPP presents stronger case for re-election over NDC. Bawumia declares government has no plans to revoke Kisia Jabing. Trade Ministry pledges effective dispute resolution for businesses. Finance Ministry holds engagements with stakeholders. The Ghanaian publisher, Kojo Afari, writes what truly is at stake in the 2024 elections. Toshi lauds Bawumia's love for PWDs. We have outperformed NDC, Bawumia. Government approves 2.3 billion Ghana cedis for NIB. Lands Minister praises Ghana's role in climate change. The Custodian. Past allegations trouble Educhum. $2.32 billion for flow into economy. Amin Adam says, don't rush for dollars. Finance Ministry holds engagements with stakeholders. Bawumia fires up MPP USA to break V8. See, advising people not to rush for dollars is not the panacea either. If the dollar is rising, it's only logical to rush for it. So if you don't want people to rush, it's not telling them not to rush for it. Let's not make certain things as is normal. It's not. Economically, financially, it's very normal to rush for dollars if the dollars is rising the way it's going. So the advice won't work. Just, put in the measures to bring it down. And then people will stop rushing for it. The new finder, $2.32 billion inflows expected. Signing of OCC to unlock more funds to restart stalled projects. AI takes center stage at CEO Summit today. Government initiates monthly dialogues to address concerns of businesses. Ambulance case was Attorney General entrapped. Okay. And then Daily Post, Muslims asking why Bawumia snubbed grieving Iranians. Mahama mourns Iran's Raisi signs book of condolence. Andrew Okankwe highlights impact of climate change on Ghana at 2024 Asian Leadership Conference. Minority on Mines and Energy visits abandoned Pualugu irrigation dam on which Akufo-Addo Bawumia have blown 170 million Ghana cedis. I heard it over the weekend. And then also Ghanaians should be ready for stories in pro-MPP media aimed at whitewashing AG Godfrey Dame after he was stripped naked in court. Sami Jemfi, that's at the top right corner of Daily Post. And that's it for the headlines. Let's go for a breather. We'll be back shortly.
It's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Fortune spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's creamy. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh bread.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matassa.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Ile ko saying. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. There'll be pages we love to read again and again, and some we want to tear out. They are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters, APSA.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
As you can see.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Emma won sahun shisho. Ena epu ehuru nsu yi. Eyi nkekaya ankasa.
Oh, I still to be.
The Jamal washing powder for furnace sachets akesi enum aba. Eyi nkekaya ankasa.
For Jamal washing powder, bottle 30. Can you ma ode beji awari?
New Jamal washing powder. Emanya meniti. Ne musu ye sham. Wohukafo a oma wontade eniti. FDA aje edwede nkrato yatomu.
Welcome to Elbow.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and the guests are already with me in the studio. Beatrice Annan is a lawyer, and she's also a spokesperson for the NDC. She speaks with their communications team as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm very sad this morning, but it will be fine. We'll soldier on. I'm very sad, not just sad, but also embarrassed.
Why? You're embarrassed? With what?
I feel very embarrassed as a lawyer and also a member of the Ghana Bar Association this morning.
Oh.
You see, I'm even in a sackcloth.
What does it signify?
It signifies mourning.
The sackcloth?
Yes. And you don't read your Bible well. You only sing in church.
Then I don't know that. My pastor has not taught me that yet.
Then you should read your Bible.
That the sackcloth.
Yes, signifies mourning. It's a very, and especially for young lawyers, what kind of role models do we have in this practice? Hopefully we get our bite on it.
Is that about cases in court, or you have a particular issue?
It's about the attitude of the leader of the bar.
Oh, okay, hold on. You hold on.
That's why I want to hold on.
Okay. Well, Dr. Antoinette Chibodakon is also the Deputy General Secretary for the NPP, and she's here as well with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
been a
Annie.
while. Every time you come, it's always a while before you come.
You know, I wear many hats.
Yes.
So I'd have to take care of my party, and I have so many other responsibilities. But you know, if I really can, I don't miss the chance to come and engage the good people of Ghana. I'm happy to be here, contrary to what Beatrice is sad about. I think that when you wake up in the morning, you are healthy, you can walk, you thank God for it, you soldier on, and you try to make the best out of it.
It was good seeing you in Kumasi, actually.
I know.
I heard your name being mentioned, during the
funeral.
The funeral donations.
For the late, yes.
Yes. And I'm like, where is she? And guess what? I met her in the hotel.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting at the point with party supporters.
Yeah.
And then when the president came, His Excellency came, then I moved and went to greet him. So I was everywhere. Yes. So you remember we had a by-election there?
Yes.
So I made some very, very nice friends there. So I kind of took it as an opportunity to say hello to a lot of them.
Oh.
They are not exactly constituency executives. These are ordinary voters that were so amazing when I was there campaigning. So I was everywhere in Eji so that day at a point I felt like, hey, and you can run for mayor in this place.
Kumasi, I think Kumasi is a nice, I don't know, there's something about Kumasi. Anything that gives me the opportunity to be in Kumasi, I can't wait.
It's exciting.
It's like a getaway.
It is.
From the pressure.
And especially the fufu and soup.
Yeah, and it's cheap.
About fufu and soup.
Yeah, and it's very cheap. I mean, lifestyle is cheap in Kumasi. I mean, easy. You can get some good fufu.
I love it.
Oh, that for fufu there. If you go to Kumasi, you don't eat fufu. I don't know.
Maybe
what
we should
you eat there.
invite Beatrice to make her happier.
Oh, but she's been going.
Yes, I lived in Kumasi for 5 years.
Oh, okay, so then you are a Kumasi chick.
Yes.
But she's not saying anything.
But why are you quiet?
She was so quiet.
I don't want to mix work with pleasure.
With the foreigners of Kumasi.
No,
she doesn't want to mix work with pleasure. Oh, Beatrice. You need to understand that we have to live long.
After the work, then we can talk about Kumasi and the beautiful fufu.
After the work, we don't want to talk about Kumasi. You take us there, because you have lived there.
But this morning, I didn't prepare to talk about Kumasi.
When I say talk about it, we say take us there. After.
Oh, yes. Maybe after. We'll talk about that.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, let me do this before we get into the issues pretty shortly. And that is this morning, if you are looking for toothpaste for the family, just go for the Kel 360 toothpaste. It provides you and your family with an all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for the kids, children, and adults. Also, let your family be proud by using or by getting the Kel 360 toothpaste for them. It brightens the teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, it gives you fresh breath throughout the day, protects the gum from decaying as well. Now, Kel 360 toothpaste is a product from the Samara Company Limited and producers of Sasso. It's available on all supermarkets. Call them on 0246 86 4798. Kel 360 toothpaste, it says happy smile. Lift and Elevator is also saying that if you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, just worry no more. In case climbing the stairs is becoming some chore, you want to go for the lift and elevator services, as they can come into your home and install a private one for you. It also can lift your services. It comes with a portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, and it's on the market as well. Lift and Elevators is located at Sakumono, and you can reach them on elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and solutions. Call them as well on 0200 535 515 0200 535 515. Now, a quick one before, this is like an announcement. So those of you who are yet to leave the house, let me put it across for your notice. Interruption of vehicular traffic development of the police hospital, Cantonment Road, Accra. We can have it on the screen so you can follow. So the Department of Urban Roads under the Ministry of Roads and Highways wishes to announce to the public the drainage and traffic management works on sections of Cantonment Road between the police station and Dankwa Circle starting on Sunday, 26th of May to Monday, 29th July 2024. So it started yesterday, it's continuing today to Monday, 29 July 2024. This is to help International Hospital Group Limited and the Ministry of Interior improve the drainage system and safety pedestrian access in front of the police hospital. Motorists and all other road users wishing to use cantonment roads are kindly requested to observe the traffic management signs placed on the road for guidance. The police MTTD will be at the vantage points to guide all motorists. Any inconvenience is deeply regretted and is signed by Engineer James Amu Gottfried, Director, Department of Urban Roads. So we received this announcement. Metro TV actually received this announcement late last night. And just for your notice, those of you using Police Hospital Cantonment Roads in Accra, note that this work is ongoing there, and so there will be a bit of some inconveniences. But the MTTD, as they have stated in the documents, will be available to guide your movements. Okay, let's go straight into the courts. A lot is happening in the courts, really. Actually, a lot is happening in the courts. Judges, lawyers, Attorney General, Chief Justice, everybody is in the news. But the first one we'll pick to deal with is the issue of the Attorney General. I'm looking for my documents on the Attorney General. So we know the ambulance case that is now in court, where 200 ambulances were said to have been imported. The government is saying that what were imported were containers. The NDC government at the time, now in opposition, is defending and explaining why the buses came without the actual equipment fitted in them. And since they are in court, we cannot really say that they are right or wrong, because that's a substantive matter being dealt with in court. Forcing at the time is the one that led that particular contract. And so just in case you are not so briefed about it, it's about ambulances that we're supposed to give to Ghanaians. And we are now dealing with the fact that LCs or letters of credits were raised, and letters of credits can only be signed by Ministry of Finance. And the matter is now in court that the letter of credit was not signed by the ministry, but they are also defending that it was signed. So the court is dealing with the matter to, ascertain the truth and determine the case. Now, the updates that came last week, there was a video of Sami Jemfi, the communications officer for the NDC, speaking, as we played earlier on. The Office of the Attorney General has also been speaking. I think in the course of the program, we'll try and speak to the spokesperson for Godfred Dami. Now, this is a lawyer, Samson Ladiayeni. He's made a case on this one, and he says ambulance case, Jakwa's allegations against the AG warrants serious. So what we know is that in the courts last week, the third accused in the case, called Richard Jakpa, made some allegations, for now I'll call it allegations, in the court against the Attorney General. And I want to read to you the correspondence in court, how it captured Richard Jakpa's accusations, okay? And I have the 30-page court correspondence. And I'm reading from page 27 as the debate was ongoing. No, let me read from 26 maybe, just to put it in proper perspective. From 26, on page 26, the court says, I have decided not to make any further comments, and I will just sit and watch you people because of this is the judge speaking, right? Because if I do not, I may find myself in conflict with a lot of the people, because when my junior at the bar tells me that in doing my job, I have engaged a witness, I think we have raised the bar to the level which it is odd. It is odd new level. So I will not make any more comments. So do what you want to do. When the time comes, Okay, when the time comes, I need to sit through the evidence. I will, because when the question is put there, which is a very direct, clear question, that the seal is what gives it some kind of authenticity, and the person wants to tell us all the workings of the Ministry of Finance, I will sit and listen. Now, Godfrey Dami comes in and says, just by force to defend other accused persons. Court, no, that is not the point. Honorable Attorney General, do not talk. 2 days ago, you caused a third world war here. So please. Then he goes on to say, Mr. Tamaklo, who is a lawyer or counsel for the accused, says, my lady, I do not know that the problem of the Attorney General, I do not know what the problem of the Attorney General is. A1, that is the first accused. So by court, you people, please, that's the judge. Mr. Tamaklo, where from this defense? If he is defending him, are we not entitled to cross-examination? No, what is this? And this was just a banter, like it happens in court, right? So a banter between the counsel for the accused and the Attorney General who have the case, who is a prosecutor. So the cross-examination invited, sort of triggered the Attorney General to speak and accuse the third accused that he is defending the first accused, which is the Atoforsen, the minority leader. So that is what brought about this banter. Now, the court also said, Mr. Tamaklo, I do not have a gavel. Please. Is there a gavel? Okay. What does it mean? That thing. Okay. I do not have it. So that's what she didn't have to call for order in court. Okay. So please, all of you, just resume your seats. Governor Dami said, my lady, the point I'm making is actually part of my objection. If my learned friend wants to go on record, then let it be on record. Mr. Tamaklo said, my lady, if he thinks the question is not properly asked, the question can be disallowed. Then the judge said, I think that we fail to appreciate how very academic our work is. Everything is provided for by law or procedure by case law. Nothing new is being created here. Everything we are doing now has already been written, and we're just trying to listen to the evidence and see how it applies to all those things which have been written. And even if he gives evidence which is not objected to, and it's time to assess the evidence, I will have to sit through and decide which is relevant and which is not. I'll jump her case and go to Mr. Jakpa. Mr. Jakpa now angrily shouts and says, my lady, I want to put it on record that I am not here to defend A1, who is the first accused. By court, I have not told you that you have defended A1. And then Mr. Jakpa comes in and says, no, I am not talking about you. Then the judge says, who says so? Mr. Jakpa, the Attorney General did that. He accused me directly, and I want to respond. Please, Mr. Jakpa, all that fight, they were fighting and disgracing the bench and the bar, I did not write it. Please, move on. Mr. Jakpa, my lady, I have heard that, but I want to make it clear here that the Attorney General has, on serious occasions, had meetings with me privately. Several occasions have meetings with me privately and odd hours, both in person and on phone, in respect of this case, to cooperate or answer questions in a manner that will make his case better against A1, and I have refused, and I have evidence to that. And so, if he is accusing me here that I am here to defend A1, he has brought hostilities to my doorstep, and I'm responding to that hostilities. And if he continues on that angle, I will open the Pandora box, and we will all know actually what transpired. Okay, so he has brought it up, and I will give it to him. Then the court says, or judge says, sit down for a bit. Mr. Jakpa, my lady, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. My court, why are you uncomfortable, Mr. Jakpa? I'm angry because how can he accuse me to be defending A1 when I'm here to find my liberty, to fight for my liberty, and he has been impressing on me to cooperate with him so that he can put AI in jail. A1 in jail, and I refused. So he comes here to accuse me of defending A1. It is unacceptable by court, Mr. Jakpa, twice or 3 times that you have said it. I have heard you. Then Mr. Jakpa, so if he dares me, I will open the Pandora box here, and I have evidence for that. Then the judge says, as for the Pandora box, everybody in Ghana here is opening Pandora box. So that was the back and forth. You could tell that Mr. Jakpa was very angry, even without the gavel, right? The judge couldn't give an order. She could only shout, sit down, sit down, sit down. And he was angry. He wouldn't sit down. And he was still trying to make his case because it was direct accusation to him. So let us slag out. Mr. Jakpa said, so let us slag out, and I'm ready for that. Then the court also goes on to say, you cannot use such language here in courts, in a court of law. Let me also caution you. You see, your lawyer is not doing his job. When you are granted bail, one of the conditions apart from coming to court is that you will also behave well. Let's cut it here. So if you are wondering who Mr. Jakpa is, Mr. Jakpa is also in the case. He is actually the company that sort of assisted Ghana to get this deal from Blue Sea. Okay. And I think his company is called Jakpa and what? Jakpa Business. Okay. So that's the name of Mr. Jakpa's company that has all been involved in this whole matter. As we go into it, I'm sure you may appreciate it better. Today, we're told that NDC, Beatrice, we're told that you're going to hold a press conference.
We haven't said today. We said this week, so it will come up.
Okay, you haven't settled when? Okay.
We said this week.
Okay.
Even though the MPP speaking points said 28th.
Okay.
So I don't know where they got that information from. So we said this.
The speaking points of who's speaking points? Where did you get that from?
Oh, I always get it every week. So they say 20.
I'm the Deputy General Secretary. I haven't seen anything like that. So maybe
what I've seen.
What did you see it from? Which official signed it?
Yes. Let me see who signed it.
Somebody signed the document you have?
Signed. It's not actually signed, but every week we get it.
Who supplies you with that?
Doesn't matter. In law, it matters not how you get it.
Hey.
Like how it wouldn't matter in the discussion we are coming to have. And let's proceed to very serious discussion.
Okay, let's go ahead. So, firstly, let me just say that I know that the spokesperson has been talking, but in the earlier statement that the Attorney General's office released, it implicates the NDC that you are trying to do something to muddy the waters.
I think that what is happening, I am not going to go into the merits of the case. I'm not going to behave in an unethical way like Godfrey Dame is doing and wants to do, because I'll leave out the merits of the case for the court to decide. And so I will not talk about the merits of the case at all. What is important is that Godfrey Dame has been caught red-handed in the unethical practices he's been engaged in over the years, and how he seeks to wrongfully convict people in this country. And it appears that any time the NDC raise the issue, they will say, bring your evidence. Today, we have evidence to that effect. You see, what is happening in relation to Godfrey Dame is a serious indictment on our justice system. What happened to the legal principle that lets justice be done even if the heavens fall? Today, there are no more men of conscience in this country. We don't have people speaking up. And I am very scandalized and angry as a member of the Ghana Bar Association that Godfrey Dame is a leader of the bar. Godfrey Dami should be leading the CHOP bar, not the Ghana Bar Association, because the man has breached every ethical rule. And you see, here we are not talking about allegation. He has called into question the integrity of the courts and the justice system, including the integrity of a Supreme Court judge.
How? Of a Supreme Court judge?
I'll come there. Annie, we are in a very deep mess as a country. You see, this thing is not the NDC against the Office of Attorney General. And that is where Godfrey Dami wants to reduce the discussion. The NDC has not made any allegation against Godfrey Dami. So Godfrey Dami should not think that he can hide under political debate and then get NPP people to be speaking for him while NDC people will be speaking against him. This is not a partisan issue. This calls into question the fear every citizen should hold. If you have a case against the state where the Attorney General will go and meet Supreme Court judges, compel witnesses to come and testify so the Attorney General can win a case. But Dami is behaving like a child who, when he was young, was bullied, so grew up with a lot of inferiority complex. And so having had access to power, he cannot tell what the limitations of law placed on him are. And I'm terribly sad and terrified, not only as a Ghanaian, but also as a practicing lawyer. When did we descend this low? How did we get here as a country? How far are we willing to go to do the dirty works of the NPP and its apparatchiks? How long are we, or how far are we prepared to go to convict innocent people for political gains? It matters not what the rules are. It matters not what the laws are.
Remember, even though the third accused have made allegations in court.
Please.
He has not given us.
First of all, and
he has
not,
not given us.
So I'll forgive you.
No, but he has not given us.
Please, the third accused has not made any allegation.
The allegations, are they not?
For
now, he said it in court, but he hasn't given us the proof yet.
Who told you?
Did he give you the proof?
Who told you?
Did he give you the proof?
When a witness is in the box and the witness makes a statement, those statements are not called allegations.
What are they called?
They are called testimonies.
Okay.
So the witness has testified. Okay. And what you read is the record of the court. So as we speak today,
it's on record.
The testimony on record is that Godfrey Dami held meetings with the accused person at odd hours, both in person and on phone, compelling the accused to testify against Honorable Atuforsen. And you see, I've heard most of the media people say that, oh, this is an allegation. Godfrey Dami, through his spokesperson, have admitted this testimony. So if I were to even use your words.
You say he's admitted?
Yes. Yesterday.
How?
On Joy News, Wilberforce. And I will wish I pause here and call him so that he will join and reconfirm so I can proceed. Because I don't want him to come and change the story. Let me even go chronologically. When the third accused gave the testimony in court that this is what Godfrey Dami has done, quickly, Godfrey Dami came to release a press statement saying that, paragraph 2, if you have that press statement, he says that the Republic has never required or desired the cooperation of any of the accused person in the matter in which it has already succeeded in establishing a prima facie case against all the accused person. Now, first of all, let us be clear that the allegation that the third accused made is not against the Republic. So Godfrey Dami should not hide under the Republic and create the impression through his press release that the third accused made allegation against the person of Godfrey Dami, not the state. So he cannot hide under unless he's telling us that he had the authority of the president and the states to do what he did, then he should come and talk. So he should not hide under the republic. It says he, Godfrey Dame. So if he, Godfrey Dame, is saying that he has never...
Yeah, but he's prosecuting this case on behalf of the
Yes, but he's not the state.
Okay, but...
He's prosecuted. That is why when Anado was president...
better.
You see, when Anado was the, how do you call it, Attorney General?
Yeah.
In the Chikata case, he filed a charge sheet that he wrote, the president versus Chikata. It's never done in practice. I don't know where he learned that. Quickly, the court said that you cannot do the president because it is not the president's personal case against Mr. Shashishi, it's the state. So, we know the state and we know Godfrey Dame. When Godfrey Dame was going into that meeting, he did not carry his deputies or the DPP.
With the case of the Chikata case, having said that, the courts clarified to the president that you cannot do it on your behalf as a president.
On behalf of the president.
You can only do it on behalf of the state.
Yes.
Then it means that anything that Godfrey Dame is doing now should be on behalf of the state.
It's not anything. Otherwise, Godfrey Dame, so when he goes to propose to a girl, does he propose to the girl on behalf of the state?
No, I'm saying that this particular case.
So I'm showing you that
on behalf of
yes,
the
but it is not anything that the Attorney General does that can be ascribed to the state.
What if it's
and especially when it is illegal?
No, I'm saying that what if it's in relation with the case he's actually prosecuting?
This conduct.
Yes.
I mean, I think don't ask that question because you will finish Dami. By asking that question, you will finish him, and you are now robbing in the president. But the point I'm making is that on 23rd, Godfrey Dame said that he has not met any of the accused persons with the view of getting them to give evidence against the first accused. Then one would think that, oh, this is very true. Then he came to say that, you know what? The office of the Attorney General has been under enormous pressure, including even one from the first accused, Dr. Atto, forcing himself, but the Attorney General has not yielded. This was a statement on 23rd after court. Yesterday, his spokesperson admitted that Godfrey Dame met Mr. Jakpa in the absence of his lawyer and in the home of a Supreme Court judge. And my goodness, you see, this law we practice, it is like being in the medical field. There are so many rules and regulations. And as a lawyer, even if you see a beautiful woman and you want to marry, and you are the lawyer for the woman in a divorce matter, you cannot marry the woman because we impose some ethical obligation on lawyers. There are so many things lawyers cannot do. You cannot sit, if you are a judge, and be a judge in the case of your own child or husband. And there are policy rationales and reasons why we do that. And the laws as we have, as leader of the bar, Godfrey Dame is presumed to know every provision. In fact, when you go to law school, how you are taught advocacy, you will not even, you are made to memorize the rules so that as a lawyer, you know the do's and don'ts. But you see, Godfrey Dame is a man of questionable character. He's a man who wants to get innocent people to jail. So it matters not what the legal obligations and ethical obligations are on him. First of all, let me tell you, he engaged in a professional misconduct and in a criminal act by seeking to meet Mr. Jakpa. Why? If you look at Rule 13 of what we call the LI 2423, which is the LI that governs the code of ethics or how lawyers should behave, there is a requirement that where a person is represented in law, another lawyer here, the prosecutor, cannot engage in communication, anything with that person without the consent of the lawyer of the accused in this case. But Dame is telling us that to hell with these provisions, I met Mr. Jakpa in the house of a Supreme Court. Now this morning, I've seen that the pro-MPP radio stations are all bringing up the defense of entrapment. I'll disregard all of them. And I'll go to the statement his spokesperson made. Because those people, it looks like one editor just wrote everything for them and they just published. The headlines are the same. The contents of the stories are the same. So I'll disregard it with all the contempt he deserves. But his spokesperson yesterday on Joy News indicated that Godfred Dame was called by a Supreme Court judge. These were his words. Was called by a Supreme Court judge. Then he went to the Supreme Court judge and then he spoke to Mr. Jakpa. And then when he spoke, he told Mr. Jakpa, please speak the truth. Please speak the truth. I don't want anything from you, but it is just the truth. I want to find out if Godfred Dame wants the truth.
This happened in the Supreme Court judge.
Yes, that is what his spokesperson said. His spokesperson was the one you should be asking him.
And you have a recording of it.
I'll call.
He said it.
Haven't mentioned him. I'll call him. But
please.
He said, please speak the truth.
He said yes. That is it. At the end, he said, speak the truth. Yesterday when he was speaking, I was capturing it. So if you like, Annie, let me pause. Call Wilberforce. Let him finish because Dr. Antoinette cannot even believe that this could happen. She cannot even believe, like all of us, we are in disbelief. So please, Annie, let me pause.
Let me educate me on this one.
Annie, let me pause.
No, let me ask you. Don't worry. No, you continue. It takes a process to call him, so you continue. But let me ask you. You know, there's this issue also that Mr. Jakpa had spoken to the Attorney General, trying to maybe call a truce by paying what the nation has lost, as in the cost of what we have actually.
The plea bargain will come there. Don't muddy the waters.
Not necessarily the plea bargain. I don't know if that also represents a plea bargain.
Yes, that's it.
That also represents a plea bargain. But can he also do that without his counsel?
Because
according to the Attorney General's office,
he can't do that.
He wrote that.
I said he cannot communicate directly with a person who is or deal in any matter, howsoever described, with a person who is represented by a lawyer. But what I'm telling you is that Godfred Dame is telling us something that we should be worried about. That Supreme Court or a Supreme Court judge is in the habit of calling an Attorney General to come to his house. How did this happen in our justice system? So, even if Mr. Jakpa was represented by a lawyer, it is bad enough. You know why? If I were a lawyer for Mr. Jakpa, in the presence of a Supreme Court judge, how am I going to say no when I have other cases pending before that judge? Especially when Godfred Dame is in the habit of meeting judges and communicating with judges ex parte. Recently, you heard the allegation in the affidavit in the Opuni trial that Godfred Dame had gone to meet a judge in his office. His defense was that he only spoke to the judge about an upcoming program. In the Honorable Roxanne Dafia-Mepoff's case, he filed an application, a letter, written ex parte, which is forbidden by law, that you will speak to a judge alone without putting your other counsel in the know. He has been doing this and securing conviction and judgment in his favor. And today, his cup is full. And so you know what he's doing? Yesterday, his spokesperson, by coming to admit all these criminal acts of an Attorney General trying to fabricate evidence with the intention of impugning and getting an innocent man to be in jail so party communicators can be given speaking points on how they are fighting corruption. Who did this to us as a nation? When did we descend so low? Was Dame not taught by the likes of Kumado and Professor and all these judges? What is happening to us? It's so annoying and irritating that you have a leader of the bar. And I will give the Ghana Bar Association by Wednesday to hear from them whether Godfred Dame indeed represents who a leader of the bar is. Because you know why? If you're a leader of the bar, you are expected to have some tact, class, finesse, discretion, and not be criminally minded like Godfred Dame that we have.
That's being very judgmental already.
Am I the one? Did I call the Supreme Court judge?
No.
Did I go to the Supreme Court judge's
I'm saying
house?
that. Well, you have the case in court already, right?
This is not a case in court. Listen.
Hold on.
This matter we are discussing.
This matter actually borders even on the substantive issue. It does. So if, like you said, the third accused has given an account in court, it still relies bills on the court to let us know how they are going to look through this case as well, because it seems to me that it might give a certain twist to the case.
What might give? Yes.
This account
it will give
is so major.
It's so major because you know why? Criminal trial is very procedural than even the substance. So the 1992 Constitution guarantees that every accused person will be deemed to be innocent unless and until proven guilty. But you know where Dame's character even comes into question? If you are the Attorney General, a Minister of Justice, or even just an ordinary prosecutor, your duty at law is that when you are presenting evidence to the court, you must present evidence that can both implicate what we call inculpatory evidence or set the accused free or negate the guilt of the accused, which is exculpatory. So if you find an evidence that says that, oh, somebody has killed someone, the Attorney General is bound to present it. Now, in the course of the trial, even if you come across another evidence that says that, oh, this person had an alibi, or there is another evidence that shows that he could not have been the murderer, you must still present that to the court, because the aim of an Attorney General and the state is not to secure conviction. The aim is to make sure that indeed guilty people are punished and innocent people walk away. The Attorney General and all lawyers are under an obligation not to be communicating with judges on phone. So if Godfrey Dame can communicate with the Supreme Court judge and go to a Supreme Court judge's house to eat wache and meet the a third accused, what can't he do with High Court judges, Circuit Court judges, and District Court judges?
Is that to say the Attorney General is not to be seen communicating with any?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. What would you be talking about?
Oh, okay.
What would you be talking about? What would the Attorney General be talking about?
To the judge.
Yes. What would he be talking about?
What if it's about maybe some national issues?
Like what? Like an example, like the depreciation of the cedi or the high rate of unemployment. What would the Attorney General be talking about? There is a policy rationale so that, you see, in this place, I don't want to go too legal.
So not even any level of suspicion
I don't want to go too legal. But the lawmakers did not even contemplate that we'll have characters like Dame in our jurisdiction ever. And so even in drafting the law, it has never happened whether under President Kufuor, under President Rawlings, under President Mills, under President Mahama, and even with Gloria Kufu, who is the last AG, that something like this would be alleged by a witness. It has never happened. What we are dealing with is a man who has no conscience, a man who does not care about the liberty of the individuals. And you know, when the Attorney General was caught red-handed, and after his admission, then he comes to say, in his statements, he comes to even put out things which further breach the LI by saying that, oh, he has evidence to convict the people, that he has presented those evidence. That is why the court has even ruled that the accused person should open their case. My God, what kind of Attorney General do we have? You see, Godfrey Dame's time has come. Anytime we go for a bar conference, Godfrey Dame speaks like a branch executive of the MPP. No finesse, especially when he sees the president. He speaks anyhow. His speeches, and I can give you his speeches from the time he became Attorney General to now.
Well, when you say anyhow, what do you mean?
Anyhow.
How do you mean?
He will mention President Mahama's name, attack President Mahama, then come and attack NDC communicators and come and attack NDC lawyers.
Okay, so his speech is more partisan than nationalistic.
Yes. So even you see lawyers murmuring what is happening, and he knows it. You see, Godfrey Dami has been doing it for
lawyers
long.
are not even happy with
his
behavior.
He knows it. I think Godfrey Dami has inferiority complex. He thinks that by getting power, he needs to show people he doesn't like. Look at the treason case. DSP Agozo. What was his crime? Martin Pebu, lawyer for DSP Agozo, said Godfrey Dami told him in the face, in the presence of his client, that I needed to add DSP Agozo to the case so that the case can gain some credibility. So this is an attorney general that is playing with the liberties of the citizen. The citizens whose taxes are being used to pay you. And this, you know, if the attorney general was just meeting Supreme Court judges, which was unethical, and meeting the clients, which is also unethical, what you have the AG do is that the AG is engaged in another criminal act, which is fabrication of evidence. Act 29, Section 213, says that a person shall not fabricate evidence or do anything that has the resemblance of presenting evidence to the court in a manner that will prejudice the court. And the custodian, you know, Annie, when you slap me today, I do not have the powers to prosecute you. At best, I can sue you in a civil claim, which will be tortuous. But the only person in the country who has the prosecutorial authority and the powers is the Attorney General. So when Attorney General doesn't like you at all forcing, the way you are looking, you are probably more handsome than me. It doesn't matter. Let me prosecute you. I'll get you off. If I have presented an evidence and I'm not satisfied, let me coerce other witnesses. If I cannot, then let me take you to a Supreme Court judge's house to convince you further. What is happening to our nation? And I've not heard the Peace Council talk about this, which has the potential to prejudice and destroy the very fabric.
It just came
look
out.
At the history. Look at the history of our coup d'etats. Anytime there is a coup, the executive is suspended. The legislature is also suspended. The only arm of government that remains is the judiciary. And so we say that the judiciary is the last resort. When you and I have an issue and we have invited people, family, and all is not, giving us that solution, we run to court. Why? Because we believe that the judge will be independent and innocent.
All right.
What we have here is Dami himself exposing what he does with the courts. Dami himself. Today, they are now telling us that, they admit he met, but you see, it was a Supreme Court judge that invited Dami. Okay. What cock and bull stories?
Okay, I will, Doc, I'll come to you, but allow me to speak with Wilberforce Mensah. He speaks for the Attorney General. I'm told he's joined us via phone. Wilberforce, thank you for your time. You're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Annie. How was everyone doing?
Everyone is fine. I hope you're fine as well.
Antoinette, and of course to my sister, my very own sister, Beatrice. Beatrice is doing a lot of propaganda this morning. Beatrice, I must put it on record.
Just say the facts.
Beatrice, Samir, and I are actually very good friends. We go way back. It appears that while matters progress, things are taking a different turn in respect of this particular matter.
If you can,
have been reiterated.
Wilberforce, kindly speak up for me a bit. We're struggling to hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it better?
Yes, better, much better.
Very well, very well. So I just want to, I only joined in at the latter part of Beatrice's submission. There were other facts that Beatrice has misrepresented to the public. I would not be.
I'm sorry, reposition yourself. I think I'm losing you. Are you moving from where you were?
I misrepresented. He should answer.
I'm moving around, so I don't know whichever one is better for you.
I'm sorry. Can it move a bit or be stable?
I've actually moved outside now.
Okay, so stay there.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Or you have to call back?
No, it's better. It's okay.
Very well. So at least two things I've heard Beatrice say at the latter part of her submission was that it has never happened that it has never happened because I think it was in respect of the communication between the Attorney General and the accused person, that it has never happened, not even in Gloria Kufuor's time. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And it has never happened because this is a negotiation under Act 1079. And Act 1079 came into force in 2022. 22nd July 2022 was when this act was assented to. So obviously, it would have never happened prior to that. Now,
if you can, for the purposes of our viewers, if you can quote the act for me.
So the act is Act 1079. What is being referred to as the Plea Bargaining Act. But it's actually an amendment to the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Amendment Act 2022. And the date of assent of this act by the President of the Republic was 22nd July 2022. So obviously, it couldn't have happened prior by any other Attorney General. So let's just get that aspect correct.
Okay.
And also the issue of the Supreme Court judge is also another thing that I caught in her submission. The Supreme Court judge, we have stated that the meeting at the Supreme Court, and let me put on record that there is no law anywhere that says a lawyer or a prosecutor cannot talk to a judge. I hope Beatrice will be able to quote the law for us so that we all learn. I don't know any law that says a lawyer or a prosecutor is not supposed to talk to a judge. There are instances where, in fact, the Attorney General is on committees
Isaac,
with several of these judges.
I'm sorry, let me come in here. How about Code of Ethics?
There is no law in the Code of Ethics that says a lawyer should not talk to a judge. It's not there anywhere. The only issue is a judge in the matter that you are engaged in. You don't have quote and unquote secret conversations or ex-parte communications with a judge in a matter that you are engaged in. But no law says no lawyer should talk to any judge. I mean, there are conferences held between judges and lawyers. There are committees that judges and lawyers serve on. Mm-hmm. The Attorney General is on the General Legal Council with the Chief Justice. So on the panel, they are not supposed to talk or what. So that issue also needs to be corrected.
So did the Attorney General meet with the third accused in the House of the Supreme Court, the said Supreme Court?
Absolutely. And that's information that, very well, yes, that's information that we put out there ourselves after the Director for Communications for the NDC brought in the issue of the Superior Court judge. Nobody, this information of Superior Court judge actually goes to the benefit, if there's any argument at all. I don't see any arguments going on actually. But the narration itself, of course, will favor the Attorney General or goes to the benefit of the Attorney General, the inclusion of this Superior Court judge.
Okay.
And
so
the Superior Court judge was only mentioned. No, I've seen a statement by Sami Jemfi that why is the Attorney General bringing in or trying to implicate a Superior Court judge? Why is he bringing in the issue of a Superior Court judge? You should name the Superior Court judge. Nobody mentioned Superior Court judge until the night of 23rd May 2024, where he himself, Sami Jemfi, who is now turning around to say, why is the Attorney General bringing in Superior Court judge issue? Sami Jemfi was the first person. Go and check Joy News, the evening news program that they do. 23rd May, I was on the program with Sami Jemfi, where he was the one who first mentioned the issue of Superior Court judge. Now, what we are saying in respect of the Superior Court judge is that it is this same Richard Jakpa who requested through the Superior Court judge. So the Attorney General gets a call from a Superior Court judge. He goes to the house of the Superior Court judge. Jakpa shows up at the house of the Superior Court judge. Now, this is at a point. Let me just narrate the issue correctly so that the whole confusion in the media, or not in the world, the whole confusion that's being respun out there, or that's being spun out there would be corrected. The negotiation started under Thomas Obin. This is an accused person, A3, who has changed lawyers several times. So there are many instances in this case that the accused person was not represented by counsel. What does the law say? So they should refrain from this whole Rule 13. The law says that you can negotiate with the accused person or counsel for the accused person. This is contained throughout the Act 1079. So you can negotiate with the accused person. The law allows that. Plea negotiations can go on with the accused person.
The law allows that within a 30-day period, right?
That is not true. The law says that you can bring this plea negotiation to the attention of the court. The court can stay proceedings for 30 days. After 30 days, the court may, it doesn't even say shall, the court may continue proceedings in court. So what that 30-day rule is saying, and it's good you have brought it up, so I can explain this to the public. What the 30-day rule is saying is that if after 30 days, from the commencement of the plea negotiation, an agreement is not reached, the court may continue the proceedings. That's what it's saying. And it doesn't stop the negotiations from going on. If you look at section 162A, it says that these negotiations can go on even up till the day of judgment. It means it can go on throughout the entire process. And we saw that in the Atuasian case. The negotiations went on even close to probably the day before judgment, the negotiations were still ongoing. So it can go on any time before judgment. So the 30-day rule is in respect of whether it's in respect of staying proceedings at the court. So the fact that the court continues proceedings does not mean negotiations have ended.
Okay,
now,
so
go on.
Okay, clarify this for me. When did the plea bargain period end? And when did this meeting also happen at the Supreme Court's judge's house?
The plea bargaining period I've suggested that has not ended because let me tell you what happened. So like I was saying,
you are saying that
no,
when you are saying no, I just want some clarity. You are saying that within the 30 days, even if it ends within the 30 days, the court may allow continuous negotiations, right?
No, not the court may. The court is not in a position to either allow or disallow negotiations. Okay. The law places the onus of negotiation on both parties in the matter. Okay. The judge is a trial of facts. The judge is not in the arena of conflict. So it's the persons in the arena of conflict, being the accused persons and the prosecution, that negotiate. So what the judge does is that she may continue the process in court. Or she may, you understand? So the judge's role is to continue the process in court. That's what the judge does.
Is that to say that the plea of bargain never ends?
The plea bargaining law, let me just read the law to you. It can happen anytime. So section 162A says that subject to 162B, a person charged with a criminal offense may at any time before judgment negotiate with the Attorney General for a plea bargain. So the negotiation goes on, or it can go on before judgment.
All right. So at what point?
The process is continuing in court. It does not stop the plea negotiations from going on.
All right. So at what point will a senior lawyer like Martin Pebu describe what happened as what you lawyers call subordinates? It's like you are compelling. Is it subordination? Yes. You're compelling the accused.
That comes in with the greatest respect to Martin. And I'm saying these things is not because of the misnarration of facts that have actually taken place. This whole suborning issue comes in when you have, for instance, when you have fabricated evidence. Okay, and let me point out at this point that even the accused person himself, Richard Japa, under oath, under testimony, never said that the Attorney General has fabricated evidence. Or the Attorney General asked him to fabricate evidence.
From his accounts and as carried as his testimony in the correspondence in the court, you could tell he was very angry and he sounded as though someone who is being compelled. And so maybe, that we'll leave that with the courts. But with the accounts, his accounts and the words he used, it sounds as though the Attorney General was trying to get him, fabricate a story to jail the first accused or the A1.
Who is angry that he's being asked to fabricate. From what I see it as somebody who is angry that he has made several approaches to the Attorney General for plea negotiations for an agreement to be reached, and the Attorney General has not budged. That's how I see this.
Okay.
So I see his anger as somebody who is being prosecuted, and I can't control his anger.
No,
as
how
for
many?
His anger,
Okay,
it's
so
up to him.
How many times has he negotiated with the Attorney General's office, or attempted, or whatever? I mean.
So let me just continue the narrative to answer all these questions. So negotiations started under Thomas Obin. This is at a point where the same Mr. Jakpa had fired lawyers several times, about 2 or 3 lawyers. He started with Tumisi, and then reigned up Tumisi also. Then he went on to one. What's his name? There's another lawyer he went to before even engaging Thomas Obin. I think the other lawyer was one Kosa, I think. And then he brought in Thomas Obin. Thomas Obin wrote these letters asking for plea negotiations. I've also heard Felix Kwachi say several times that Richard Jakpa was not even doing plea negotiations with the Attorney General. Let me correct that. It was plea negotiations. There's a letter, I think, dated the 16th May letter or so, where Thomas Obin clarified that, yes, what we are looking for is a plea bargain. It's very clear in that letter. Initially, the Attorney General was asking you, are you coming for plea bargaining or what? You are bringing in a third party. The third party is not a party to this case. You are bringing in Big C. Big C is not a party to this case. Act 1079 does not include third parties. Are you plea bargaining or not? And he makes it clear in that letter. Yes, what we are asking for is a plea bargain. Very unequivocal. What we are asking for is a plea bargain. Now, in respect of, let me even read that portion to you. For the avoidance of doubt, and this is a letter from lawyer from the third accused person, Richard Jakpa. For the avoidance of doubt, our client hereby confirms that while the proposal originally emanated from Big C, our client has wholly adopted the proposal and we therefore consent to the authority of the third accused person to plea bargain. So it is there. So from this third accused person never plea bargain. So then the negotiation was going on with Thomas Obin, and then Thomas Obin was fired. Jakpa fired Thomas Obin. So all the meetings that were had, with the same Mr. Jakpa, was at a time that he had no legal representation. And the court documents will bear that fact out, that even when he opened his defense alone. He gave oral testimony. He did not have a lawyer at the time. The court record will show that there were several instances in court that he came unrepresented. So during that period, if he met with the Attorney General, at his own request too, let us make that also very clear, at his own request, he met with the Attorney General at the time he had fired his lawyer at a place that was in a Supreme Court judge's house, and this Supreme Court judge is his own relative. He met in the house of his own relative. Now, if the Attorney General, in accordance with law, continues negotiation which had been started by Jakpa himself, where's the issue here?
So hold on. Whose relative are you talking about? Is it the Attorney General's relative or Richard Jakpa's relative?
Richard Jakpa's own relative.
So Richard Jakpa's relative is
Richard Jakpa's own relative's house.
Okay, so hold on.
At his own relative's house.
Right. So the Supreme Court judge is Richard Jakpa's relative.
Absolutely.
And the Attorney General invited him into his own relative's house.
No.
Who is a Supreme Court?
The Attorney General was the one who was rather invited. Thank you for even bringing that point out clearly. It's the Attorney General who was invited. So to come to court and to quote and unquote throw tantrums to say that, and you met me at all places at all hours. Really, all these meetings were at your own instance. And it was for your own benefit. The Attorney General had closed this case. There are documents that have been tendered into evidence that already support the Attorney General's case.
All right, so just to put it on record, Richard Jakpa went to his uncle, who is a Supreme Court judge's house. Uncle, yes. And the Supreme, and invited the Attorney General, who is prosecuting this case, right?
I've said relative, I've not said uncle, please.
Oh, okay, relative. All right.
Yes.
And when was this?
When was this?
Yes.
I'll not be able to give you the time and the date, but it happened. We have not denied the fact that it happened.
Was it this month?
Like I said, I'll not be able to give you the time and the date, but it was during the period where our friend and the accused person was not represented by counsel. So it was during that period. When was it? It's actually, with the greatest respect, it's actually immaterial to the substantive arguments being put out there. With the greatest respect, Annie.
It is material, Wilberforce.
I've explained. So if I say it was 1st May, it was 70. What difference does it make to the substance? If you want, you know what? I'll get you that information.
Because you're saying that in this
case.
No,
don't worry, Annie. I'll get you that information.
Okay, hold on.
I have your number. I'll get you that information.
Because you're saying Richard was the one that did the invitation. I don't think.
But there are letters to show that Richard was the one who initiated the plea bargaining agreement, and the fact, and we are saying, which has not been denied by Richard, unless the NDC are now spokespersons for Richard Jakpa.
Okay, so
because Richard has not denied, we have put this out in the public.
Richard initiated a plea bargain, but you have not. That's the Attorney General's office has not done that.
We have not done what? Sorry, I can't hear you.
You are not negotiating, are you, or you're not?
Oh, to the best of our knowledge, we were negotiating. The way things have turned out, it would seem quite impractical for such a negotiation. Remember, these negotiations are supposed to be without prejudice, are supposed not to even come to court at all until an agreement is the agreement that comes to court. So for you that you requested a negotiation, for you to come to court and throw tantrums, it's quite sad and confusing.
And both parties were doing the plea bargain with their counsels involved, no?
Oh, I've already explained that at the material time, the person was not represented by counsel, and the court documents will show that there was a long period that he did not have counsel. These are all records before the court. So both parties were not represented by counsel. Prosecution is already counsel. The other party, when it started, he was represented by counsel. That's Thomas Obin, and the negotiations were going on with Thomas Obin. There are documents to show. And when he wasn't represented, the law allows you to negotiate with the accused person or the counsel. Maybe I should just read that portion of the law. But Beatrice knows that you can have these negotiations either with the accused, well, she knows or ought to know that you can have these negotiations either with the accused person or counsel for the accused person. And when he got legal representation again, when he engaged Tadio Sori again, negotiations continued with Tadio Sori. So where is the conduct that's unprofessional here? Or where
let me find out. Why didn't the Attorney General was in court, right, when these testimonies were being given by the third accused? Why did he not stand up to it or put up a defense since it was being captured? For that question. It's good you are helping me cover everything that ought to be covered. Now, in court, it was not the Attorney General who was cross-examining the accused person. It was Edujita Maklo, who is counsel for the first accused person, Honorable Ato Forsen, who was doing the cross-examination. Attorney General time to cross-examine is scheduled for Thursday. That's this week, Thursday, this Thursday coming. So the Attorney General should tell Edujita to sit down and he Attorney General start cross-examination or what? No. The Attorney General is a very experienced lawyer. But there's nothing wrong with calling for an objection and making a case or a defense, since there is a direct attack. There's a direct attack. Hold on. Let's not do that. I'm saying that there is a direct. Let me just put it this way: the neutral lawyers and even the partisan lawyers, either party, they know or ought to know that the proper time to question such a statement that has been put on record is under cross-examination. Why would the Attorney General object when he's not the one doing the cross-examination? No, that's not how we do it in the legal profession. His time will come. His time, and in any case, the matter that was raised by Jaffa, that they met, the Attorney General has not denied the fact that they met. So it's not true. The narrative being spun by my friend Beatrice, it's not true that the Attorney General has denied. He has not denied. He said he has not met the person with the aim to. There's a difference. There's a very big difference there. Let's get the narrative right. The release from the Office of the Attorney General was seeking to attack the NDC instead of the businessman that was involved in fact, the one who was giving the testimony. How did it, all turn to the NDC as a party? Oh,
as to information that came out as a result of that press release, these are factual information, or this is factual information, and it's immaterial right now to the substance of the issue. The Attorney General's focus is on delivering his mandate under Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, and he's doing so in accordance with law. So far, what they have said is that one, fabrication of evidence. I pointed out to you, you have read the statement yourself, I believe, what the person said in court on oath. He never used the word fabrication. That's very clear. And from what he said you wanted me to implicate X. Now, if I tell you what the Attorney General told him is to that, say the truth. When I ask you a question on this document, say the truth. Don't be cunning, don't be coy, say the truth. If I ask you to say the truth, and the truth will implicate the person, how is that telling somebody to fabricate evidence? When the Attorney General has already closed the case, that doesn't even add up. Now, two, that the person met with an accused person. I've already showed you that under Act 1079. In fact, that's the whole purpose of the Act, the Act 1079, which was passed in 2022. The whole purpose of the Act is for the Attorney General or prosecution to meet up with someone. So where's the issue here again?
Okay, but trying to tell...
And the third issue is that he met without the person's lawyer. We have already established also, the court records are there. You can apply for the court records. We've already established also that there were long periods. This person has sacked his lawyer. He has gone to about 4 or 5 lawyers. And during that period, Attorney General started negotiation with his lawyer. He sacked that lawyer. Attorney General continued the negotiation with him as is permitted by law. And now the Attorney General continued with his current counsel. And his lawyer on the day, after he threw those tantrums, his lawyer on the day came out to apologize to the Attorney General.
Okay, Wilberforce, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So, lawyer Eric Delalifo says that, Annie, is Wilberforce suggesting that the AG, that's the Attorney General, who knew that A3 had always, that's Mr. Richard, always chosen to have a lawyer and had indeed engaged lawyers to represent him, waited to ambush him, the A3, at a time he briefly lost the services of his last lawyer to harass him into incriminating a co-accused person?
You see, this is the statements. These are all the statements that is being thrown out there. The statement that he had always chosen to be represented by a lawyer. When I've established, even pointing you to court records to show that there were several instances that he did not have a lawyer. He opened his defense. The person actually opened his defense. This is at a time that anybody would even want to have a lawyer. He opened his defense without a lawyer. He gave oral testimony in court without a lawyer. Check the facts. These are facts. These are all out there. So the narrative that he chose to meet this person without a lawyer, Madame Delali, is wrong. This person did not have a lawyer at the time. Attorney General met him at the time he did not have a lawyer. And it was at his own request. It was at his own request. So please, when you look at what I've narrated to you, really are there. What's outstanding? Really what? That a lawyer is not supposed to meet with a judge. Really, Beatrice? Really?
No, maybe before you go, when an accused person doesn't have a lawyer or have lost the lawyer due to some circumstances, is it allowed to, if you're still dealing with plea bargain, is it allowed to still meet the person without his counsel?
Thank you very much. In fact, when you look at the plea bargaining law, priority is placed on even the accused person before the lawyer. Let me even read Section 162A to you. Section 162A says that subject to 162B, a person charged with a criminal offense, a person charged, is it the lawyer that has been charged? No, it's the accused person. A person charged with the criminal offense may at any time before judgment negotiate with the Attorney General for a plea bargain. And that's what has happened. If you look at 162C, let's even look at 162C. 162 says here that, give me a second. 162C says that the plea bargaining or the plea negotiations referred to in Section 162A may be initiated by an accused person or counsel for the accused person. So you see that in everything that it runs through the entire act, an accused person or counsel for the accused person. So the law even always starts with the accused person. The accused person. You negotiate with the accused person. When the accused person is represented by counsel,
but if you're if you are actually negotiating with the counsel for the accused, you are negotiating with the accused person. I mean, logically.
then the law would not have put the accused person or counsel for the accused person logically. Would it?
So what you're saying is that the law gives you a choice, either with the accused person directly or with the counsel. It's none is illegal.
One, the law gives you a choice, either the accused person or counsel for the accused person. But where the accused person is represented by counsel, you negotiate with counsel. But where the accused person is not represented by counsel, the law I've just read to you tells you that nothing stops you from negotiating with the accused person. In fact, an accused person can go to court and say, I don't want a lawyer. There are many instances. I'm in court right now in a case where the accused person is saying he doesn't want a lawyer. We are almost, judgment will be given in a few weeks' time. He did the whole case himself. He didn't have a lawyer. So in matters like that, is he forbidden from the plea bargaining law when the law is saying clearly that you can negotiate with the accused person or counsel for the accused person? Right. When you have a lawyer, when he had a lawyer, the Honorable Attorney General was negotiating with the lawyer, and there are letters out there to show that. I've seen these letters. I don't know how these letters got out there, but I've seen letters between the two parties where there's a negotiation going on between the Attorney General and counsel for, that was Thomas Sobin. He fired Thomas Sobin, sacked Thomas Sobin, and then the negotiation continued with him and the Honorable Attorney General, Jakpa, and the Honorable Attorney General, at the request of Jakpa, at the house of the relative of Jakpa. So it wasn't even a clandestine meeting. If it was clandestine, then it was clandestine against the Attorney General, not Jakpa.
All right. Isaac Wilberforce, Mensa, I'm grateful for speaking to us. If any clarity I need, I will definitely come to you. Thank you.
Yes. Tell Beatrice to buy me fufu this afternoon.
Before Wilberforce goes. But why? Oh no, but I need to respond. You speak.
Let me.
No, because he has.
So I don't interject you. Let me take a break.
Oh, but I need to address before you take a break.
I'll give you some 2 minutes for that.
Yes, Wilberforce is on the line, and I want him to hear me.
So let's take a breather. I'll be back.
Oh, he should hear me.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Stop! Enough you guys, so continue.
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Pack. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Pack app on www.gamepackgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Pack. Game Pack, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Hey, baby, a son of Nanso, yare etimi sapa dom yare.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
All right, welcome back to the program. I'm still in the studio with lawyer Beatrice Anna and Dr. Antoinette Chibotako. But let me quickly do this where if you want to live like a tycoon, remember who's got the mullah, got the power, and Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. daily. So pick up your tablets and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or dial *946# on all networks. Choose from the numbers from 0 to 9, and it's easy to play and easy to win. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mullah, more power, and is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Now, Betway Cash Out also says that Ayesoko, Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway Cash Out without any hassle. Sign up on the betway.com.gh. It's also for persons not under 18. And if you're not 18, don't try it. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission. Betway gets way more. Blue Jeans energy drink is also on the market and it's been there for 20 years. We also know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, and taurine and guarana, which are also known to boost the strength and energy as well as promote the high performance endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink is tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for the bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold bottle, a can, and power your day. It's in shops across the nation. Contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190 or 055-001-0000. Doc, right, let me now come to you after speaking to...
after getting the lawyers to talk and talk.
Yes.
Anyway, and for me, I come from this point where, and I always speak about it, and you know it. What is the aim of the case? And Beatrice kept saying that why is the AG referring to it as the Republic, like in his... But I thought that the case was the Republic versus, and that the Attorney General is mandated to represent the Republic. Yeah. So he can't say I or you. He has to refer to it as Republic. Exactly. So I don't understand what this case then is becoming the Attorney General's case. And I think... It's an attempted assassination. Exactly. It's becoming an attempted assassination of character. Right. Is it the Attorney General who is under trial? Is it, I keep trying to think. So it is the reason why
I was in a banter with her on if the Attorney General is representing the state, everything he does
is representing
the state because
and I think
it's in
that
direct
by law.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So I wanted to clarify that. So if in his statement he goes and says the Republic has never required, he is mandated to write as such. It is his right, and that's what he's there for. So don't say that he doesn't have to keep saying the Republic. That is what, and it's unfortunate, Beatrice. I would really beg that in some of these discussions, don't let political judgment reduce you to calling people that he has to be heading a chopper and not Ghana bad. He's your learned colleague. You can't go ahead and do such things. I think we should be
senior
careful.
at the bar,
Senior at the bar.
Yeah,
You
he's my
can't
senior at
exactly.
that.
So you shouldn't you shouldn't refer to
My
people
very
in such terms. Let's be very whether unethical or not. That's beside the point. But don't use things like choba and what. I think that is very derogatory, and you are assassinating the person's character, personality. We should desist from such. This is supposed to be an analytical discussion. Yes, you come from a legal point of view, and I was listening and picking up a lot of information. But you see, you detract when you use such words and refer to things and go all the way about. No, I think we should try our best to be very, very concise and a little bit more, diplomatic when we are talking about such things. Are we calling for public sentiment to get involved in the law process? Is this where we've gotten to? The aim of the case is still there. The Attorney General, that is the prosecution, says we have closed our case. Why doesn't the defense open their case? If you want to pull all of this evidence and information into your defense, open your case and let's listen. But suddenly, we are now capitalizing. The media story is now being more about the negotiation. We are now becoming the judge and the jury even before the case is actually, And I worry about such things because I think that the sanctity of our judiciary and the processes and the belief by which we all then have that if you take a case to court, this would be the procedural, we tend to then damage and dent it when we throw all of this out in the public and we allow the discourse. So when my learned friend, he's not my learned friend, learned colleague means a lawyer, but I also assume that we are all learned, yes. So when Oberforce was speaking, I listened aptly. There is no issue, just like he said. There's no mistake. There's a law that allows for plea bargaining, as he said. And as he said, it is a continued thing. There's no law that says that you cannot do it at this time or you cannot do it at that time. In fact, by what he's saying then is, it can even go on until the very day judgment is what? Is given. And in a very logical situation, why would
I'm not
that
sure
not
if
happen?
that was,
or what,
I'm not sure if that was the lawyer's Wilberforce's position. But I've also listened.
No space,
but I've also listened to senior lawyers who have also clarified that plea bargaining has a period and it ends within 30 days. After 30 days,
when you submit your letter, that's what I heard. So you submit your letter, and within 30 days, if the AJ hasn't responded, it expires. But we look here, we see 4 different letters were submitted. So at each point in time, it means the thing just kept renewing.
In a cycle.
Now, what I think I keenly listened to most was the fact that the invitation between him and the Mr. Richard Jakwa to even have a conversation
was initiated by
initiated not by him. Whether it was by Mr. Richard Jakwa, we don't know, but by a relative of Mr. Richard Jakwa. And today, all of this is out there in the public. And to say that as an Attorney General, you are not even allowed to speak to a judge, you are not allowed to have, I like the fact that Oberforce then made a clarification. There are meetings, there are issues. Are we arriving at a situation where we are saying that if you are a lawyer, you can never speak to a judge? I thought that the conflict is to speak to a judge who is sitting
on a case.
So if at this point the judge, the honorable judge, I think the lady justice, who is sitting on this specific case, is at any time discussing with the Attorney General, then there's a serious conflict. But if the Attorney General says he visited the Supreme Court person who is also a close friend, and we are not epitomes of knowledge, we don't have all of it in our heads. So I would assume that learned friends, learned colleagues, you discuss issues, you have differences, you bring to mind everybody's opinions and views. So if he went there and such a discussion went on, is that in contravention to the law? And then Richard Jakwa came there. Now the question is, did the Attorney General know that Richard Jakwa was going to be part of this meeting, and etc. and etc.? Okay, so let's let all of this come out.
You see, that's
the reason is saying that there are audios, and that the audios will bring out, the actual discussions and things that happened. Well, if that is it, so be it. But I still call on the fact that we need to make things clear. Let's not allow our, emotions and things to desist us from actually. Are you going to then stop people? Let's be careful. You don't stop people from using the plea bargaining law by saying that it has never happened before. So Oberforce pointed that this was only passed in 2022. So probably the first time it's really being called. But is that what then we are going to say that nobody should use it again? You know, because if you are not careful, you push people into the corner to say that the last time it was used, look at what happened. It became a whole hula baloo about it. So let's be careful. It's an act of parliament, and it supports the fact that in such processes, something can be done about it. And I think we should be careful how when we are implementing such laws, we allow public sentiment and media to come into it and mar the process or the beauty or the reason for which I'm sure the propagators of this law did not just get up and say that.
Answered some of the questions in a way I thought that, okay, maybe that's your opinion or interpretation on what the law says, but it also further on might need some Supreme Court interpretations, I think.
If that should happen, I'm not
because different parties seem to be having
the use of the law.
Yeah, different parties seem to be having their own interpretations
about how the law should be applied. I think that the law is very specific. It says 30 days. When he read the act, I didn't find any lacuna or issues with it. But the implementation process, I think, is just being taken out of context and out of hand because media has come in. And then, the emotions of the third accused, you were speaking about it. You know, so I think these are the things that have marred the implementation of the law. But if not, it is the right law. Let's not call that saying that, because I heard and the Director for Communication for NDC saying that it doesn't even happen. Such a plea should not, and I was like, no. If it is an act of parliament, then it supersedes any legislative instrument.
Yeah, there are different lawyers, senior lawyers who have also spoken to it. So, and they have also condemned
the use of the plea bargaining
they've condemned the Attorney General for refusing for this attempt to coerce. In fact, they use the word compel.
Where is the evidence that the Attorney General coerced?
That's why both parties must present the evidence they say or they claim they have.
That's what I'm saying. But until then, let's not mar the beauty of that plea bargaining. Okay, because if it is something that has to happen and there has to be recording during it and etc., and like Beatrice said, where both parties are represented by their counsel and etc., then it's fine. But I don't think that the essence of the case is what we are dealing with now. And for me, that is my worry. A ministry actually responds to a request that it does not have adequate funds to honor a contract. And another ministry goes ahead. And I think those are the issues that I have read the case and I'm thinking, how did that happen? And behind all of this is the fact that the Attorney General is mandated to make sure that they can save the state from misuse of public funds and recover. So I looked at some of the plea bargain letters that was given by the party who was actually not part of the case, but says that, look, and I heard some discussion that said that, is it Blue Sea? They said, we don't want our reputation to be damaged. So if this thing is going to come where at a point they will just give you back your money. If the Attorney General wants to negotiate that part, is that not recovering the money? Than to wait and go to court and put all the people into jail and eventually you don't even get, you know how this thing becomes. It's either a civil or a criminal, and then eventually the money has to be paid back. It's about the state needing its money or getting back its money. So for me, even if that Attorney General then said, okay, we'll enter into a bargaining and see how we can recover, because now this is where we've gotten to, is that also against the law? You know, so those are the questions that have been going on in my mind. But I think behind all of this, we should stop the character assassination. We should stop the derogatory remarks. We should stop punching holes and creating a space or an issue or a precedence where we actually now destroy our own state institutions. Vis-a-vis what I'm talking about, the judiciary, executive, legislature. For me, I think those are places where, at the end of the day, we all go to. And Beatrice here, you are a member of a very respected association, legal association. You cannot be calling your own colleagues by such names and calling them out. And you would have listened to how Wilberforce spoke. He spoke without any derogatory mark to any of his colleagues. And I think we should uphold the sanctity of that. It's very important for me.
Okay, so Annie, I think that
2 minutes.
I think that first of all, it's important to say that nobody has engaged in any character assassination. We are talking about a man who, through his spokesperson, has confessed to engaging in an unethical thing in breach of the laws that govern lawyers. So when you repeat what Godfrey Dami himself was not so concerned about his character when he sought to meet the accused person unrepresented, or he met the accused person, sought to meet the lawyer's expression.
When your Supreme Court judge calls you, you say you won't.
That's not how it works. We all know Supreme Court judges, because this case has the potential of ending up on appeal. So if the case ends up on appeal, and then the Supreme Court
calling judgment already to end up on appeal. How do you know?
However a case goes.
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not in law, but I don't think that part about it is right.
How do you understand
has the potential?
Yes.
When you say something has the potential, then it means you have enough.
Dr. Annette,
do you understand what I'm saying?
When you
anything that has the potential.
But you're a lawyer, so you know your limitations.
So when you were speaking,
no, you are a lawyer, so it means you have more information than I am.
You peddled a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding.
This was not peddling miscommunication.
You demonstrated that you did not understand the gravity of the matter at hand. I did not interject.
The point I wanted to make.
So this is coming from a lawyer. She said it has potential.
The point I wanted to make is the testimony that was given by Richard Jakpa, in fact, can go either way. If the judges sitting on the case will decide on what to do, in fact, depending on how they go into it, they will want to get to the bottom of it, because the other party is also making it look as though, you are trying to create a fictitious story just to jail the first accused.
And let me have my time.
And that's what the case they want to make. That's the case they want to make. That's why the media is going this way, because it borders really on the substantive.
Every case in court, the moment it's filed, has the potential to end up on appeal. From the High Court to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, every case, because at the end of the day, there will be a victor and there will be a vanquished. And sometimes you even win a case, but you still decide to appeal because you think that though you have won, what you want is not what you got.
The entitlement is too small.
So every case has a potential to end on appeal. So if you're a Supreme Court judge and the matter is at the High Court, and you, the Attorney General, who should be deemed to know the law, invites this accused unrepresented and the meeting is held, and then the matter ends up on appeal.
He said he was rather invited.
Whether invited or he's the invitee or inviter, it matters not. There was a meeting. If this matter ends up at the Supreme Court, is the Attorney General trying to tell us that he knows what the panel will be, for which reason the Supreme Court judge will not be on the matter? For which reason I need to speak to a Supreme Court judge because the matter is at the High Court? I think they should spare us those childish legal arguments. Let me come to the Wilberforce case. Wilberforce says that plea bargain is a new law. And I wish he was on the line because Wilberforce is my mate.
He's watching you.
You see, plea bargain is a new law. But the application of law has always, the Act 29 we use, was passed as far back as 1960, before Wilberforce was born. Were we not applying the law? Before I was born.
Before you were born.
I said before we were born. Yes, before we were born. Are we not applying the law? Plea bargain is an amendment to the Criminal Act. There is a reason why when you are engaged in the plea bargain, contrary to what Wilberforce is claiming, one, the Attorney General or the prosecutor cannot engage you outside your lawyer when you are represented. That is not the provision of the law. And I don't think that he will admit, maybe his boss is drowning and sinking, so let me say something to save him. But he knows that he cannot make this argument anywhere except on TV. That is why when Mr. Jakpa said this, the Attorney General did not object. Let me show you what the position of the law is on.
But you heard Wilberforce when I asked him why he didn't object.
He said he will have his time to cross-examine. Okay. That is different. In the case of Aye versus Kpakpo, Aye and Kpakpo versus Idrusu, 2010 Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report 819, it was held in applying the NRCD 323, which is the Evidence Act, Section 6, that a party should object to evidence at the time it is offered. If a party looked on and allowed inadmissible evidence to pass without objecting, it would form part of the court record, and the trial judge will be entitled to consider it in evaluating the evidence on record for what it is worth.
It is the case now.
Which is the case now. There is no objection on record. The Attorney General in cross-examination can decide even not to ask Mr. Jakpa anything on this matter.
But we're yet to see.
Yes. So, he did not object to it. It is on record. So, let me also make the point that it is false for any lawyer, including Wilberforce, to say that you can be engaged in a plea bargain till the time of judgment. That is, my goodness, no lawyer will interpret the law. And call Wilberforce back. No lawyer will interpret the law this way. Do you know what happens? You are entitled to engage in a plea bargain. Mm-hmm. When you start the negotiation, proceedings must stop in court. For the court to give you 30 days so that you can announce settlement or otherwise. When settlement breaks down, which is your negotiation for plea bargain, you go back to court for trial. Nowhere does it happen in any jurisdiction that while plea bargain is going on, the trial is also proceeding. Because that's what he said. He said that the plea bargain is a continuing
He said it can continue even to the last day. To the last day of judgment.
So if you like, call him back and let him explain. But
I'm telling you that's what he said.
Yes. Annie, please,
I sent you
a letter.
You said 2 minutes. So
no, Annie, I sent you a letter. I'll send you a letter. Please project it. This letter is dated 24th May 2023 from the Office of Attorney General, writing back to the accused person through the lawyer that your proposal for plea bargain has been rejected. That is why they are back in court. Otherwise, there would have been no need for proceedings. So let nobody come and create the impression that plea bargain is a continuing process, and so at any time before judgment, when you, the Attorney General, have written to the people that I have rejected the terms or the proposal, are we children?
Let me. Doc, I'll give you just some minutes. Let me just go through these messages, and then I'll give you the last word. So this one says, "Good morning, Annie. Some lawyers know the law, and some also know justices." Said by Carlos.
Actually, that's very true for what has happened.
Carlos, thank you for the message. This also says that, hi, Annie, what's the finance minister talking about? The total debts. Well, I didn't touch on this. I didn't have a lot of time, but let me
Annie, I'm not done. We are reading your messages.
Jifa says that, can Wilberforce confirm that Dame is on his way to the United States aboard a Delta airline? Jifa, I think this one you have to check it out yourself. Wilberforce is already gone. So, journalist Ato sent me a press release of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. It says that response public versus Ato Forson and 2 others false allegations by third accused person against the Attorney General. This is a statement that was released on. I want to see the dates, but just a few minutes. Let me read. I'll let you speak.
So Musa have some dates that you should have taken.
I was looking at.
I was just also looking at the letters, and I'm thinking that.
So Musa Batwa says that, Annie, the explanation by the AG spokesperson is not adding up. From his account, the meeting took place, but it was a plot by Richard Jakpa to entrap AG. Richard Jakpa also saying it was rather AG who is pleasuring him to make false accusations against Ato Forson. In order to establish the facts, an independent probe should be constituted to get to the bottom of the matter, because the AG's reputation has been marred internationally. In all honesty, I trust Godfred Budame because he's too, I don't trust Godfrey because he's too political, you say. Musa sent that in. And I think the courts may or should, if they are not, be monitoring the media. Because it looks like both parties are all making accusations and throwing accusations against each other. And that will be, oh no, Beatrice. Musa says that plea bargaining is lawful, i.e., it is provided by the law. And so if Jakpa tried to take advantage of it, there is nothing wrong with it. But what is unlawful is shameful and shameful. It's for the AG to try to force an accused to falsify evidence in order to implicate Attoforsen. The AG must resign, and he is not fit for that office. It is why I was saying that is what the law is clear on. You cannot falsify information to deceive the court, So if an accused person is giving that account, like Beatrice says in court, it's on record. Good morning, Annie. Mr. Dami has nothing to defend on this case. He should just back off. Ishmael Arhoria centered in for Mystic in Soma Adreji says, good morning, and instead of Godfrey Dami to prosecute his corrupt MPP members as well, he's busy persecuting his political opponents by abusing his prosecutorial powers. Anyhow, Mr. Dami should know that if you go and sleep with an itching, Charlie, by you wake up with I can't read it.
That's very hard. You read it because you let me finish.
No, I'll let you finish. Good morning.
What I'm going to tell you will change
and solid discussion. My regards to Beatrice and a very special one to my landlady, Dr. Antoinette. She's very happy to be paired with Beatrice on the show. Great brains. Annie, she's the best landlady. Hey! She's the best landlady in the whole world, Charlie. Don't use my platform to
give me accolades.
To patronize your landlady.
Very well. We love the dog.
The dog?
Yes, he
brought you a dog.
Yes, he brought us a lovely dog.
Hey, Prosper. I want a dog too. Good morning. Unfortunately, the NPP communicators seem not to realize that most of these issues are happening because the current government and its appointees are extremely partisan in their governance delivery. Some of us have been around too long enough to see governments go and governments come. But what we have now is beyond comprehension and has the potential to destroy the fledgling democracy from Sam Kelly, East Legon Hills. You sent that in. Woba says that, you see why, okay, Woba, I'll get back to you. Chumbwafo says that, Annie, was the court aware that Richard Jakpa was representing himself in his own plea bargain at his own cousin's home? Is that his cousin? You are telling me, I don't know. Flo, your screen. I don't know if that's his cousin, but they said his relative. Okay, someone sent me personal messages. I can't read that one. Trill says that, good morning, Annie, it's a shame to have a personality. Tridos, I don't want to attack any personality, so I'll read it. Okay.
Oh, let me just 1 minute. Okay, let Doc finish.
Yeah. Yes, I'll let you have the last word.
Okay, so I think that when Beatrice was speaking, she said that there was a letter that came from the Attorney General's office refusing, and that letter was dated May, I think it was. But I also realized that even after that, on 12th June, another plea bargain letter was sent. And
was sent from who to who?
It was sent from I see Thomas Oben Law Consult, and it says again, dear sir, we proposal from Big C. We refer to your previous correspondence on the subject, including your letter dated. That's the counsel for the third accused. That says, including your letter dated 8th June. So we are not even privy to the letter that came from, I haven't seen that in the public space, that came from the Attorney General 8th June, and then the letter now from Thomas Oben 12th June. So it means that the correspondence was still ongoing.
The plea-bargaining correspondence.
Exactly. So as she's saying now that the Attorney General responded on the 12th of May and therefore refused plea bargaining option and that ended it. I don't think that is, or 24th of May. I think the last letter is 23rd of May. That's what I see here. But I think that generally we shouldn't also preempt because more is likely, there's even more. What we see now is that there was a letter dated 8th of June to which Thomas Oben Law representing now responded to on the 12th of June. What happened after that? Was there, a feedback letter and etc.? So I think when some of these things come again, we may even see more about the case than we are doing. And yes, I do believe that when a case is in court, there are all sorts of woven angles and etc. that come into it. But I also want to say that, though not totally from a law background, I do know that there's something that the lawyers called, is it extraneous? What do you call it? Extraneous matters. Okay, and that what Jakpa filed was a witness statement, which in his testimony before court becomes an extraneous matter. Is this relevant? Does it come into all of, all what does it
what does it say? Read it again.
It says that when what Japa filed, he filed a witness statement. Okay, and that is his testimony before court. And that in court we have something, or through a legal process, you have something called extraneous matters. Okay. Now I also know that by law, when there's a case in court, there are all sorts of woven angles that come into it. Exactly. So at this point where this issue on the plea bargaining, and because it looks like now we are judging the plea bargaining process. This is what the discussion
during the cross-examination,
we are talking about the cross-examination, the plea bargaining process happened well.
It was counsel.
Was someone forced to say something?
So it was counsel Eduji that was cross-examining the third accused. Then he asked the question about what did he even ask the question about?
A question about LCs.
Yes, the LCs. Then the AG came in. That's the reason why I was asking Wilberforce, what's wrong with another counsel coming in if one counsel is doing cross-examination? So he's asking about the LC, and then AG came in trying to question what has the third accused got to do with an LC. Then he started throwing at the third accused. So the A3 got angry and also started saying things across to the AG that if you force me, I will open the Pandora box, because why are you accusing me of being here to defend the first accused? I'm also here to make my case, and I'm making my case.
Exactly. So,
do you understand?
So what about it then became...
What about it is the accusation.
The third accused getting angry about the accusation from the
that
AG?
you say I'm here to defend the first accused. I'm not here to defend the first accused. I'm here to make my case.
And that's what I'm asking you. That part of it is called
that's not extraneous
matters.
Okay.
That's
you want to know if
yes, so I'm clarifying.
So what had happened?
No, I am doing my research and checking.
A witness statement where Jakpa has filed. No. This is Mr. Jakpa under cross-examination by counsel for Atoforson Elugitamaklu. Then he was given a testimony. But the Attorney General didn't find it so convenient to his case. And it is his right to object in law.
Yeah.
So he stood up and objected to the question. Then there was a back and forth. So my lady asked him to resume his seat because 3 days ago he had caused what my lady described as a third world war. Then he said that whatever he's saying is part of his objection to the question. Then Mr. Jakpa said that, don't get me angry and accuse me that I'm defending A1. Because
so what Mr. Jakpa was not happy with is that in his effort of objecting,
he said that
accused him.
Mr. Jakpa was in this court only to defend the A1. So that was what got him angry and said, Mr. Attorney General, don't annoy me because several times you have met me in person and on phone.
When the next opening comes, and that's what I was asking, is it then going to be about this matter?
Yes.
Or the essence of the matter?
It is highly possible.
So these are the angles that I'm talking about.
Because this accusation,
and then
this accusation can actually...
Beatrice has referred several times that there are two audios.
No, there are so many things. There are not just two audios. There are so many things.
I'm sure the court will ask for them.
Exactly. What we have, the Supreme Court Judge 1 is Exhibit Q. What we have on Dami, it will bury his career. Let me show you. When Wilberforce was speaking, he sought to say that time was not of essence. That is another falsehood, blatant falsehood, because Dr. Antoinette...
Essence?
Yes, that's what he said. So when you were asking him when did the meeting with the Supreme Court judge take place, he said, would it matter?
Is it immaterial?
It's immaterial.
Oh, but I think when you pushed him, he said that he'll come back to you and give
Yes,
you.
but he hasn't come back.
No.
He has
He
said
said
that.
he will search
I'm saying that because of what you have read, that after the 24th May letter, which the AG rejected the proposal, there was another letter dated June 2023. This is why time is of the essence. If a person makes a request for a plea bargain and the letter is dated June, it means that by the end of July or the date on which, so if it is 22nd June, then 22nd July.
No, it's not 22nd June.
No, I'm saying that let me get the correct time so that the last letter was written by the Attorney General's own statement. The last letter for the negotiation was written on 12 June 2023, paragraph 3 of the Attorney General's own statement. Now, if the last letter for plea bargain was written on 12 June 2023, what it means is that the party requesting for the plea bargain and the Attorney General, they have a month within which they must communicate to the court. If there is no communication, Annie, it will be deemed that the Attorney General did not accept the proposal for the plea bargain. And there, you see, let's not reduce this discussion.
We don't have those letters.
You don't have to have the letter.
No,
let me show you. You don't have to have the letter.
The Attorney General even points to a letter dated 8th June. Do you have it?
No, but I'm referring to their
but you don't have a date. The letter
which Attorney General pointed to that?
their
Because their release has 12 June
letter.
Yes.
The 12 June letter that you just referred to refers to a letter dated 8th June.
Which letter?
We have that one.
So
look at
the last letter. Wait.
Look at the 12 June
so
letter from
Dr. Antoinette.
That says that we refer to our previous correspondence on the subject, including your letter dated.
Yes. So the last letter.
So where's the 8th June one?
The last letter is 12 June.
I think we are not.
The Attorney General
How do you know the last letter is 12
This
June?
audio we are talking about is under 2 months.
But the point she's trying to make
How
is
do you know?
they may have more letters.
They have more letters.
Don't preempt and
You know why? You know why it is not done that way? Because then what are you bargaining? What are you trying?
So where is the 8th June correspondence?
They are mutually exclusive. The idea is that when you engage in the plea bargain, you may come to a certain conclusion,
which
will now either continue the trial or end the trial.
Yeah.
So, like the Atu Asian case, when there was a plea bargain, it ended where it has to end. When he was not able to fulfill the terms, then the court convicted. So you cannot say that, while I'm engaging in any case, I'm telling you that this happened less than 2 months ago. At the time, the question the Attorney General should be telling us, was Mr. Jakpa represented or not? I will not say that because this Attorney General, he wants to confess his sins.
Okay.
He should continue. Godfrey Dami has, and you see the point about the Republic finally.
My time is
Let me ask you, Cecilia Adapa, when he kept the money under her bed, did she keep it for and on behalf of the Republic? Was she not a minister of state?
Why
would it
are
be
we?
deemed,
Why are
would
we?
it not be deemed that when the minister
but
of
if a
state...
person does something...
That is what I'm saying.
It's okay, I get
That is what I'm saying.
Someone
So
bring
if
it
an
out
officer
in
does
front.
something wrong...
So Helga is asking... So Helga is asking this question that... I'm sorry, so is it okay to use...
Are you bringing...
So, ladies, so Helga says I should ask you that is it okay to use words against His Excellency John Mahama, derogatory words, and assassinate him and his character, but now we cannot touch the AG. Why? She's asking a question.
Who uses derogatory remarks against? Have you ever heard me use a derogatory remarks
at the bar conference, called President Mahama
I am asking you, Beatrice.
You should speak to him.
Is that how you refer to your learned colleague?
Your tenant said that you are interjecting too much.
To talk to Godfrey
Anyway, all right. So this is what I'm allowing. Let me take a break.
The way you are.
Let me take a break. I'll be back shortly with Trent.
In today's modern world, Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Welcome back. So it's a Monday.
Yes.
The Monday lady is here. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Harry Potter. Good morning.
So let's start with Good Morning Ghana. I mean, some of the comments that were coming in as the show was going on. So yes, let's pick some of the Good Morning Ghana. Okay, so Beatrice Annan rather said it has never happened that an accused person alleges such as an accusation against the Attorney General. Emprex Wana is saying so. Okay. So why have an MPP panelist and still allow an MPP person to call in? That's bias. Guidance. Kandopoko Prempabwa just says, MPP has destroyed Wilberforce. Yes,
he
please.
didn't come in as an MPP person. He came in as a lawyer that speaks for the Attorney General. I knew this was going to happen.
I know, right? But let's pick more comments before we move on to the other topic as well. MPP has destroyed Wilberforce. He was a fine gentleman back in KNUST.
Hey.
They haven't sleepless night to find laws to justify their wrong deeds. J Panthers, okay. And this man was trained by KJTI versus Makola lawyers. Yang. Okay, let me take a few more and then this should be sacked immediately. He's not doing his boss any good. Okay, so this is a comment on Good Morning Ghana. Now, away from that, Japa is trending. You know, initially I thought it was, you know, when we say Japa, traveling outside the country.
You know, we have a Japa in the newsroom.
Really?
It's called Bright Japa. Hey, Jaka.
Jaka, okay.
This is Jaka.
Okay. So I checked and yeah, Richard, Japa is trending because of the whole, you know, recording of the Attorney General and all that. So let's take a few of the comments on social media. So Beatrice, she just left. Isaac Wilberforce Mensah, the Attorney General spokesperson, has buried Dami. He admits the AG met Japa. He admits that the AG also met Japa in the house of a Supreme Court judge without Japa's lawyer. NDC vindicated. Okay. If they met at the request of a Supreme Court judge who's the cousin of Japa, and Japa appeared there without the knowing of Dami, and a discussion went on, so what did Odami say that vindicates them to not be guilty of why they are in court? Razak Haruna is asking. Mempuri says that they rushed their media surrogates, Land FM and Agenda Nyame, to broadcast aspects of the damning revelations about AG's meeting with Japa in Yoni's house. so they could twist facts to claim AG was being entrapped before the NDC presser. But Omobuakra plot exposed. Interesting. This one says that number one, 5 things in the development of the Japa challenge have become juridically concerning, not on the mere periphery of the ambulance case, now seemingly under trial by the messaging from the AG's office. Okay. Let me take a few more. If 3 people familiar with each other meet in an unofficial setting, I'll be very careful defending any of them for what they said or didn't say until I listen to that secret recording. Austin Wood. Okay, and if the meeting was called by Japa or the said judge, then I may believe the story of entrapment. But if the meeting was called by the Attorney General, then it will be difficult for me to believe the story of entrapment. Kojo dies. Okay, so away from that, this weekend we had news of KK Fusu and Lil Wayne in an accident separately, and one person with KK Fusu also died. So this one is also trending. Someone is asking, why are celebrities dying or being involved in accident? I mean, Wendy Shea, Kwame Eugene, now KK Fusu and Lil Wayne. So what is happening to Ghanaian celebrities this year? Earlier today, Lil Wayne had an accident, and now musician Bless and KK Fusu are involved in another accident. Dr. George is asking, the real cause of Lil Wayne's accident was overspeeding. Okay, if you say so. So High Life musician KK Fusu and Bless involved in a car accident, and unfortunately Bless passed. I mean, the Bless is alive, but there was a blogger who was also, yes, that's him. So yes, blogger John Claude Tamaklo actually couldn't survive in the accident that KK Fusu and Bless. So KK Fusu and Bless, as I mean, they are at the hospital, but the blogger passed away. Unfortunately, there was a blogger with them as well, John Claude.
I'm actually shocked because when I read it, I saw that, I mean, a near fatal. That's how the report.
But he died.
So it means he died later.
Yeah, he died. It's unfortunate. But yes, these are some of the stories trending.
But I think our celebrities should watch themselves.
Yeah, the speeding and all that.
The lady, what's her name?
Wendy Shea.
Wendy Shea, no Wendy Shea. The one who died long.
Ebony.
Ebony's own. It was as a result of top speed.
Yeah, overspeeding. Yeah.
Susan Williams was
the same thing.
Overspeeding. These, I don't know, should we call them celebrities? Celebrities.
Yeah, they're stars.
They're celebrities.
Yes.
They're musicians, right?
Yes.
So they have something to do with to celebrate, So I think they should watch themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
The roads we have today, if you're not in a presidential convoy, even the presidential convoys are getting involved in accidents.
Yeah.
So let's all be careful.
True.
Because it's like if you lose one musician, it's like you've lost 10 people.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
They feed hundreds of people.
That's true.
And entertainers. So you really need to. Right, unfortunately.
Yes.
Anyway,
Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. So welcome to the week. And you also welcome to the week. Make sure you don't engage yourself in overspeeding. All right, so that's it that we have for you this morning. We'll be back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.
The world has seen a lot of evolution in recent times. Global network facilitated by trade continues to grow.